simp, a word that is designed to insult men, causes women to be most affected. In fact, it's not even women that are most affected, because if you're a mother and you have a son that's a simp and spends his time on Twitch buying bits to give to his favorite e-girl, well, it's your money that's being affected as a hardworking woman. Your son could have spent those money on something else, couldn't he? So, no, I disagree. I do not think women are most affected. I think corporations are most affected. I think it hurts Twitch's business model at its core. And this is a very interesting conversation to have, which is why you see a lot of journalists doing PR damage control for Twitch, trying to get control of the narrative before my narrative gets away. And my narrative is the truth. It's always the truth. Like, you know why? Because it's common sense. It makes perfect sense. So let's talk a little bit about Twitch and how they make money. Twitch, I remember, used to be a game streaming platform. And I remember this quite vividly a couple of years ago. There was this guy that was talking about the controversy from the gaming industry on Twitch. And what ended up happening is that some of the Twitch admins, they tell him, yes, you can talk about it. We're not going to censor you, but you have to play a game. You can talk about anything, but you have to play a game, any game. And that was the Twitch platform back then. And a lot of women also start streaming on Twitch. Some of them were legitimately interested in playing video games. Other women would use their corporeal features in order to attract a bigger audience. The game wasn't there as the primary focus. The corporeal form was there in the primary focus. And this caused a lot of young, impressionable adults, especially teenagers, to watch these ladies. Now, I have absolutely nothing against it. This is capitalism. If I were to have a better radio voice and a better English accent, I would probably get more subscribers. More people would probably watch me. So I cannot fault if someone has the gift from the heavens to have better bosoms in order to be able to attract an audience. That is not the issue. The issue is in the dishonesty. Like, you see some of these women, like Zombie Unicorn, that paints her tits on Twitch and then complains about booth babes and complains about other women working for companies in order to sell a product and says that's sexism. You see a little bit of a conflict of interest there. And if you point it out, oh no, you're the problem, you're the sex. How dare you point out? Like, how dare you point out that there are some girls out there that do this, not because necessarily they like the hobby or they like video games, but it's a lucrative business where they can sell pictures of their body in order to make cash. Again, I'm not saying that this should be illegal. I'm not even complaining about it. I think it's perfectly normal in a capitalist society. What I do not understand is why someone like the Quartering that would say cosplay is lingerie, in which many cases there are, he gets banned from Magic the Gathering because how dare you make such a comment. So this is where the controversy starts happening. I have more respect for the ladies on Chatterbait that are selling a service and they're honest about what they are doing than some of the ladies on Twitch, which are pretending that they're playing video games or they're pretending that they care about something or some other, and they're getting money because they're good at playing video games. Like, let's get real, okay? Now, the model of Twitch is primarily focused on girls playing video games, because if you see some of the donations that they are getting, it's insane. Like, we're talking $10,000 super chats, $15,000 super chat. These are real. Like, there are girls out there that just all of a sudden, boom, massive donations like that. So Twitch makes a lot of money.
It was a good one. It was really fun hanging out. It is 3:15 in the morning. I work in approximately 4 hours. That sucks.
I really need a new gun. But don't tell my other guns.
It's about that time.
Donation says, not bait. Not.
Where is my tribute, goddammit? Draw me.
No, oh my god.
Wild card, bitches! Yeah!
Sorry, I'll
leave a note this time, smiley face. Happy New Year's Lee. I don't want to be unfair, Papa.
What the fuck?
But there are also a lot of people that give money to these girls, which I am willing to bet are teenagers. So people under 18. And if you go on various internet forums, if you hang around on Discord, you will know a lot of people that are teenagers that take their mom's credit card, use it to buy bits, and then donate money to these Twitch girls. So yeah, that is a problem. It's an ethical problem because you're not talking between consenting adults anymore. And Twitch is doing their best in order to keep this scandal from breaking out, and at the same time is also doing their best to protect the girls that are doing it, and they're making them money. Because you see, Twitch wants to advertise themselves as a family-friendly platform on one hand, but on the other hand, they want kids to give money to these ladies that are selling basically sexuality to teenagers. And it's very addictive for a teenager to fall into this trap. Which is, you know, where the word simp comes in. Like, it's meant to shame these people. Because I personally have more respect for a person in Germany, where prostitution is legal, who buys a prostitute the legal way, than I have respect for a person that donates his money to a girl online that he will never see, that he thinks is going to start caring about him and wants her attention. And by the way, I don't have respect for people that go out and get prostitutes, just so we're clear. But like, if you put me to compare these things, then yes, the person that actually, you know, pays an honest woman that provides honest work versus a person that is dishonest, or even remotely thinks that you are going to have any type of luck with a lady that is putting herself out there on Twitch. Like, most of these girls have boyfriends, and it's kind of funny because every now and then the community finds out that this girl has a boyfriend. What happens is that most of the people from the community, they drop out, and then the lady goes to her friends in the gaming journalist network, and the media writes an article saying, "Oh, look at these misogynists, how they're upset about this girl, but live away the controversy just so she can get a new community, so she can refresh her community, basically get more simps into that community." It's horrible. It's exploitative towards minors, and I do not like it. And if you say, well, it's not exploitative towards minors, what are the methods in place to prevent underage kids from giving money to these ladies? And again, like, this is not something that affects women. If you're a mother and you have like a 16-year-old kid that gets addicted to giving money to his favorite e-girl, it's your money as a mother that instead of spending it on something better like clothes or food or whatever, your son is now taking it and is giving it to this lady. It's not good. And not to mention, it destroys the kid's reputation. Like, just imagine if you are 16 and you're out on a date and the girl finds out that you are spending money for e-girls. How is that conversation going to take place? Okay? So, no, it's definitely something that Twitch doesn't want to have people talk about. So, now they are muddying the water, and they're saying that calling someone a simp is just a person that is nice to women. No, that is not the case. Being a simp is when you tolerate things from women just because they're women, but you wouldn't tolerate the same behavior from men. I think the feminists used to call this benevolent sexism. It's like when you let a woman walk all over you just because she's a woman. When you allow women to do certain things and treat you with disrespect for no other reason that you like them. And if a man would treat you the same way, you'd probably throw hands. You know, that's what a simp is. And the problem with being a simp is that you do not respect yourself. And the problem with not respecting yourself is that other people won't respect you. And it's a big turnoff for women to see a man that doesn't respect himself. And you also lack intelligence. Like, if you just happen to donate money to a Twitch streamer, that's a girl, who, you know, puts her titties out there, and you do that because you like her personality or because you legitimately, like her as a human, and if she was a guy, you'd donate money anyway, then that's fine. I'm not going to complain about that. But if you're the type of person that gives a large chunk of money to a Twitch girl because you think you're going to have a chance with her, you are out of your mind. You are absolutely, positively insane. Even if you had the chance with her to begin with, the moment you gave her cash, that is the moment where that chance has ended. You can be Don Juan, you can be Robert, it doesn't matter how charismatic, good looking you are, like your chance is ended. Because already the woman is going to have less respect for you. Like you are now the guy from the internet that gave her cash. Like let me put it in another context to you. Okay, most of these girls probably already have boyfriends. Like think about it. If they have, like most women that I know are very shy when it comes to their body. Okay, at least the ones that I have in Romania. Maybe in your country they're different, but the overwhelming amount of women are kind of shy. I mean, yeah, sure, they do have pictures that they take, in their lingerie or, and by the way, this is another rule that you need to write it down. If you ask for naughty pictures and she sends them to you the next second, she probably took them for another guy before you, which is why she has them at hand. But anyway, let's go back to what I was saying. If you know a woman online that already has what it takes to put herself out there, and she's very charismatic and she's good looking, why on earth do you honestly think she's single? And why do you think she would want a relationship online rather than a physical relationship in real life? How stupid must you be? Just how? No, seriously, like what does it take to think into your brain that if a woman like Alinity, for example, which has thousands of people that are oogling at her every day, and she looks the way she does, and she has the courage to do the things that she does, what on earth makes you think that she wouldn't have someone in real life? And by the way, apparently, if I'm not mistaken, she's got a husband or something, which she manages to keep out of the picture. Because again, like, these women know what they're doing. Like, that's what, like, look at the OK Boomer girl. All right, the OK Boomer girl becomes an internet phenomenon overnight. All of a sudden, there are thousands of people there donating money to her. She becomes really wealthy. What ends up happening? People find out she has a boyfriend. Everyone loses interest. I remember, like, there was this stream with a beautiful Asian girl dancing. And all of a sudden, people are joining. They're starting to give her money, thinking that the stream is live. But then the stream comes down, and you see a guy saying, haha, you got baited. You got baited, all you fools, blah, blah, blah. And then people start leaving. And Twitch takes down that stream. Why? Because they made fun of their business model. That was the main problem. Like, the guy was pointing out the reality to people. Why people are on Twitch. The reason they like the girls isn't necessarily because of their personality. Now, I'm not saying this applies to everyone, but it does seem to be a trend that the biggest donors think they have like a special relationship with the e-girl. Again, a girl that they never meet in real life, that they never talk with. And yeah, I mean, it's sad. It preys on vulnerable young men especially. The girls are making money, but what's really sad is that, again, like some of these girls that are very popular, and I'll name Zombie Unicorn again, on one hand, they're comfortable with taking money from impressionable young men, and then they lecture about feminism and how men are oppressive and this and this and that. But not only that, they don't end there. They also shame other women or companies that hire women as booth babes at E3 conventions. Because I guess those are competition, right? So you'll notice that ever since big corporations like Twitch realized that they can use pretty young ladies in order to make money, all of this idea of feminism being exploitative and all of this idea of benevolent sexism, and they go down the drain. All of a sudden, it's very progressive and liberating for a woman to put herself out there, and it's like, oh, sex work is real work. Well, where's the sex? There is no sex, right? So you're not. I guess virtual sex is virtual work. Like that. That's how they should be it. Yeah. So and it's a suppression of the people that point this out, like it's hate speech, almost. to call it out. Like, they call you a misogynist if you point it out. So to shame booth babes is very progressive, but to shame a girl that's on Twitch and painting her tits, that's not okay. And by the way, before I end this, I want to point out how the different standards between Twitch and YouTube are. So there are cases where people have took recordings from Twitch that Twitch finds appropriate and uploaded them on YouTube, and they got a community strike for nudity on YouTube. Okay? Just let that sink in.